Hi, it's meteorologist Justin Berk on Thursday morning, April 6th, 2017. We've got our severe weather threat today, and there seems to be some heightened anxiety considering everything that's marched across the country, and now it's our turn. I've gotten a lot of calls from clients, from friends, even some teachers in schools that have some specific questions, and I figure the best way to really approach this, maybe highlight some things I showed on the website this morning in my morning blog, and show you the latest information, what we can look for, and maybe ease some of that anxiety as we try to get a better handle on this storm system going on into the afternoon. So let's get right to it. Okay, here's one of the maps I showed on my blog this morning. This is a mid-level look at the surface pressure, but also the winds at roughly around 5,000 feet, the 850 millibar level. You'll notice secondary low pressure trying to form in north central Virginia. That's what's going to track to our south. That also increases that wind flow from the south and southeast and destabilizes the atmosphere. Water vapor satellite loop, oh man, that looks impressive. Classic comet shape, and that is large over the Great Lakes. It's that bright clouds that are the bright whites up across the East Coast that is the most unstable air feeding into this system, and that's going to be our focus for today, but it's cold stuff and snow really on the backside. Now here it is, the mesoscale analysis that I just got from NOAA, and highlighting that area low pressure trying to reform across the central mountains of Virginia. That's what's going to really spin up those winds out ahead of it and increase that instability. It's southeast winds in southern Maryland. They're into the warm sector. That's the best threat of getting damaging wind, large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado, and that extends on and through Virginia. Now, across central Maryland, we have an easterly wind. That is cooler, that's damp, but that's actually a little more stable and may keep the severe weather threat just to our south. This is a critical boundary that we have to watch over the next couple of hours. Will the warm air build in? You can see the yellows and orange shading here. That's mid-60s to 70s. But as we get in a little bit closer, the high-resolution model holds us in the 50s around Baltimore northbound, and that might be a good thing. Okay, here's a quick radar tour from 11:07 a.m. Doppler radar across central Maryland, southern PA, northern Virginia. Very active. I wanted to show you this, even though by the time you see this video, it may very well be old. But I wanted to line this up with where the high-resolution rapid refresh model, the HRRR model, has been indicating some of those heavy rain cells. And if we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see, in that orange shading, slicing right down the bottom of 83, in downtown Baltimore, Brooklyn Park, southern part of the Beltway, and on through 97. We've got some really heavy rain, and you may see a couple of lightning strikes in there. Those look like some older cells. Let's put this on into motion, give you an indication of what we're watching here. And it is generally stuff that is moving from south to north. You got a lot of lightning activity across central Maryland. It looks like from Columbia, Route 100 on and through Anne Arundel County. Let me take this off and give you one more indication of what I'm looking at. Even though the bottom part of this cell seems to be breaking up, we could telestrate here and highlight even Dale City heading back towards D.C. We're going to have more action. I know this may seem a little bit complicated. The cells are moving from south to north or bottom to top of the screen. Meanwhile, the surface winds are out of the east. That's down at the surface. This stuff here is what's going on at cloud level. All right. With that in mind, and the way the models have indicated today, it looks like most of that severe weather will probably be around D.C., well, at least south of D.C. I can't promise the districts are going to get in on it. But that all depends on where that warm front sets up. And you'll notice if your winds start to shift to the southeast or even the south, then you'll be in that warm sector, and then you'll have a better chance of getting some of that severe activity. If you're up here across the northern sections of Maryland, southern PA, we're going to get some heavy rain, but at this point in time, it looks like temperatures are going to remain on the cooler side, taking some of the sting out of the air, and that at least is going to help us diminish some of that severe weather activity as we head on into the afternoon. There's a lot of action there. And again, we will be looking at southeastern Virginia, I think Virginia Beach on in through Richmond, maybe even southern Maryland. There's that possibility of getting that large hail and maybe even some isolated tornadoes to pop up. All right, back to the high-resolution model here. This is the way it depicted the 11 o'clock rainfall pushing to our northeast, Cecil County, southeast PA at noon. Watch to the west of D.C. This is that intense line. Look for the reds and purple shadings here. This is the best chance if we're going to get severe weather, and it's going to be around 1 o'clock near D.C., southern Maryland, Charles, St. Mary's County possibility, rolling across Route 50 during the 1 o'clock hour. I think central Maryland, if we're going to get anything, it's going to be around 2 o'clock. And we still could see intense rain and rumbles of thunder but diminished severe threat, all based on that wind flow and also the temperatures. So it could be just to our south, but still get intense downpours around that 2 o'clock hour, and watch it roll up towards the north and east as we head through 3 o'clock. This is prime time for the buses to come home after school practice. Southern PA, we could have some local flooding here in York, Lancaster counties and pushing towards the western suburbs of Philadelphia as we go towards the afternoon. But you'll notice as that wave moves out of here, I think we diminish most of that severe weather threat for the rest of the day. However, there will be some additional thunderstorms starting to pop up behind that. The next thing you're going to notice besides those storms, look back to the left side of your screen. You'll start to notice some blue mixing in. That is going to be the cold air and snow developing in the mountains. Yes, indeed, we're going to have snow in the mountains of Virginia, West Virginia, mainly West Virginia in the higher peaks, and up across that ridge that takes it to Garrett County, where there will be accumulation as we head on in through Friday. Let's loop this quickly one more time. All right, so we have that severe weather outlook for today. The yellow shading, slight risk storms turn severe. Metro Baltimore, Central Maryland, D.C., Southern Maryland, including St. Mary's County, Richmond and Virginia Beach, and on in through North Carolina. That's the enhanced risk. That's the greatest threat of having some damaging storms today. Tornado threat, hey, that 5% region in brown, that means 5% of any storm has the potential of producing a funnel cloud, which means most of these storms are likely not going to do that. Now, the other aspect here is large hail. Over quarter size, that's another severe level criteria, 15% chance of any storm producing that, mainly south of D.C. And look at that wind damage, especially in that 30% range, and that will be south of D.C. and southeastern sections of Virginia. And how could I ignore the fact that there's still snow out there? On the west side of this storm, developing mountain snow tonight. Garrett County, it's probably going to be just west of Frostburg, that ridge that extends on through West Virginia, where there could be some road problems leading on in through Friday morning and ease up during the day. And a reminder, just kicked off my school assembly program. It's all STEM-based about severe storms called Storm Smart, where I'll try to ease the anxiety for kids in school, give them some safety tips, and of course, teach them everything about all aspects of severe weather, at least whatever we could fit in a 60 to 90 minute time frame. Check out my Facebook page or my latest blog on justinweather.com for a link to find out more and see if we can schedule something for your school during the month of May. Hope that helped out. Let me know, and good luck this afternoon. We'll keep tracking with you.